Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a part 2. It's always funny when I do that, when I do a part 2 or something, because usually I'll press off and then I'll literally press on again and I'll say hello, welcome back to my channel. It just sounds a bit strange to me. So continuing on my ramble from last time of random things that I found on the internet, that nuggets of wisdom that I found. Basically, yes, I am writing now nuggets of wisdom as an idea for a title, which may not happen because that sounds a bit like entitled and like you have to listen. Anyway, we will say negativity, because I feel like social, toxic positivity culture has brought about this idea of we can only feel positive emotions. Obviously, a lot of the time people are parented in a way to allow this to not affect you, but coming from a family where this was something that we all lived by, it's basically a case of, and I do think the world, to be fair, does have this mindset of like, because no one likes a Debbie Downer at the end of the day. Like, if you're having a great time, but everyone's going to have good times at different times, so I'm not saying having a positive outlook on life is not going to be healthy for you, but I do think we all, as well as we have positivity in common, we all have negativity in common. And this was interesting for me because I was watching a video where a woman, she was talking about loneliness, for example, and she was saying, and I've experienced firsthand that in schools and stuff, kids these days, and it's not really changed, just the way we look at it has, which is that obviously kids in school, they are often talking about how, you know, no one understands them, or like not no one understands them, but like they might feel like socially anxious, they might feel, you know, like lonely in school, like whatever, that sort of thing. But like I think obviously we do, regardless of the generation, things sort of like kids are kind of the same, but we do connect on that negativity level as well. So obviously vulnerabilities, people are sometimes attracted to vulnerabilities because it helps you feel comfortable with someone, but obviously I think honouring those like negative feelings, but also knowing that other people have the exact same feelings as you, because it's easy to say in like the culture we have that you are like the only one that ever feels these negative feelings, and it's so untrue. Like everyone feels those feelings at the end of the day. So there we go. Another thing completely unrelated, kind of related, about your inner child, which is that I feel like someone said something on a video the other day which I found really interesting, because she said apparently that she promised her inner child, and it was actually, I think she'd written a song and she was describing it. She'd promised her inner child that she'd always be joyful, always be childish, always be naive, always be new to the world. And I'm not saying that I'm not still young and I don't still feel that way about certain situations, but I know for a fact when I was a teenager, I thought in my head, I was like, I will always be this, you know, beansy. I don't understand why all these adults are so boring and they never, you know, they never do anything and they just live their 9-to-5 jobs and it's just so boring and rubbish, and I'm gonna be that one, you know what I mean? And it's like I'm not saying you can't still be authentic to yourself and be that one, for example, of, you know, whatever that means to you, tailoring life to yourself, but at the same time, like, you will, like, I will not always be this gung-ho. I will, you know, I won't be this gung-ho. I will not ever be as gung-ho again as in my teenage years. And I think I have kind of made a video about this in my discussing teenage childhood trauma or something video, the traumas of teenagehood or whatever I did a video about. Yeah, one of my older ones. But yeah, so basically, yeah, like, realising that you won't be like this way forever, and you will never be a teenager again, and just acceptance of that and allowing yourself to like move through life. So I think it's just an interesting thing, especially sometimes you hold beliefs that you don't even know you still hold. I'm not saying having like a youthful, some people do just have a youthful energy. I know for a fact, I've got friends that are a lot older than me, but they still are very in touch with their inner child. But at the same time, we do emotionally, physiologically change, so we can't have certain aspects of ourselves. Not to say that we all have to have that we don't have to evolve into this adult, sad, you know, societal idea of, adulthood, and this might just be my young person self-talking, so I'm going to stop now because I can't speak on that. I haven't got that far in life to realise whether I'm just sounding too young. So, owning doubts, another Elevation Church quote, again separate topic. Owning doubts does not disqualify faith. And I think this just goes on the idea, obviously, like being realistic about life and being realistic about a situation and owning up to doubts, and, you know, potentially if that's a list or a prayer or thought about it, like you don't have to, again, have this toxic positivity about everything in life. You know, some things will require, everything requires navigation at the end of the day. So there we go. Another quote, stop sacrificing living your dreams for false security. And this goes very closely with my law of attraction video and the power of letting go that I did, because we often have this inner belief, even if some people, I'm not going to go into what I was just about to say, but I think some people have an inner belief that a certain thing is going to help them achieve another thing. And sometimes those two things, you're really looking for short-term pleasure, not long-term happiness. So your goal is to have long-term happiness, or whatever your goal might be, long-term, you know, fulfilling, hearty, full life, where really that thing will not, it's an idol at the end of the day. You're not going to get all of those things from that one thing. And just being aware of that and allowing yourself to let go of certain things. If you want to hear more about that, I have a whole video on law of attraction and the power of letting go, 2-part video. So, but yeah, stop sacrificing living your dreams for false security. This could be a person, this could be a situation, you know, anything. Being aware of idols, basically. Finding the root cause of emotional problems and honouring feelings is something I'm going to continue to be doing, because often an issue that you have can, unfortunately, and often is for a lot of people,